What is going on, everybody? We're back. We're here. We're live. It's Monday morning, and Geeks and Gamers Daily is back online. Jay, what's going on?
It's still hiding in my bunker, and so just trying to stay protected from whatever's going on out in the outside world. That's pretty much it.
It's nothing here in the United States and never will be. But
yeah,
I don't like your hat choice today, Jay. I don't like the color of it because it is so light with your super light background.
Yeah,
it looks fucking weird. It's a weird choice.
I don't know what to do. You know, it's the only hat that I brought, so I could turn the light. Whoa, turn the light off. Maybe that helps.
Maybe that's a little bit better.
I have all the blinds closed, you know, and no lights on. I have nothing going on. I don't know.
Like, it looks fine. It's just the hat compared with the background.
Yeah.
Like, I can barely see your fucking head, basically. That's what I'm saying. So,
yeah. And I have major internet warning here. Basically, the AOL dial-up here is holding on for dear life. So hopefully it lasts the hour.
You know anybody that sells an AOL email? Every once in a while, I come across some people that still have an AOL.
I think so, yeah.
They still have an AOL email. I mean, I guess I haven't seen one maybe in a year or two. I don't know if it's still online or not, but yeah.
Yeah, every now and then a lot of people still using that Hotmail, you know. So
Hotmail.
Get a couple Hotmail accounts every now and then that come through.
I still got my Yahoo from like a million years ago, and I have like 7 million messages, like 7 million unread emails, and I get about 100 of them a day, and I check it once every couple days.
I have a Yahoo account email that I just have muted, so I don't even know what's going on over there. So yeah, there's probably all kinds of stuff. I don't know, man. Maybe lost relatives, you know, that might have passed that I never knew. I don't know. There's probably a lot of stuff going on over there. I should check it. I probably don't even remember the password, to be honest with you. But that's where we are. That's where we are.
There you go. Andre Sierra says AOL email is still around. I mean, yeah, it probably is around, especially for people in other countries that are like fucking 20 years behind us. I believe you, Andre.
I used the Yahoo account for, like, you know, when you have to, like, back in the day where they wanted you to fill out stuff.
Oh yeah, that's what I use mine for. It's all the random shit where you need email to sign up for this or what. That's what I use it for, and I never fucking look at it.
Yeah,
100%.
I think the account is like Big Tarzan 99 or something like that. Like, that's
you shouldn't have told anybody that.
Some weird name. That's not exactly what it is, but it's something like that.
You should not have told anybody that. That you set up an email for yourself called Big Tarzan.
like years ago, man. I don't know what it was.
Here's the thing, though. For you years ago, you're still like, there's some people that are like, yeah, the first email I set up when I was 14 years old or whatever. And it's some cringe name. That's fine. Like, you can understand why a teenager would make something like this. That wasn't you. You weren't fucking 13 when you were 13. Internet wasn't even a thing, so you have no excuse. You should not tell anybody what your cringe fucking shit is.
Oh, something like that. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Ross
I
says,
mean, my other email is drunk 3PO. I mean, it's not much better.
Yeah, Ross says Jeremy uses Hotmail, spelled a little differently. I believe it.
Andre in the chat says his is cock and balls 69 at yeah.
Yeah,
that's how it was.
Yeah.
I was, man. We all had that dumb gamer tag, too. So
mine were always extremely boring. Pretty much.
I always like the gamer tags that are like slept with your mom or something like that. So you were killed by I just slept with your mom. Like I thought those were great.
Mine were super boring because I basically just used my last name. You know what I mean? That was it. And it was always there because there's not many Kinnels out there in the world.
Except for the one that took your Twitter account years ago.
Yeah, that one fuck. Personal, I hope that dude dies and his Twitter account gets suspended so I can finally reclaim my rightful username. 0. Happy birthday, Jay. Best duo on daily. Total Munjay takeover.
That was a Krista Nova troll. It's not my birthday. I guess they were bored, or she was bored, or whoever, and decided to put it out there as my birthday. But I did get a lot of well wishes, so thank you. But it's not my birthday.
There you go. Crazy Clown Town. Happy birthday, God. Jay.
Is it going to be that kind of day? Here we go.
Alex McCarthy, not Jay's birthday. Meta PC code RK Outpost or Drunk 3PO. Thank you, Alex. Link is in the description if you guys need a new PC for all your gaming, editing, streaming needs. Go check out our friends at Meta PC. Andre CRJ, that Transformer series on your channel is dope. Keep them coming.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Did a full 180 change on the Drunk 3PO channel, going through the Energon universe, starting with Transformers, Dukes next, and Cobra Commander. We're going to try to catch up so they're a little current. I appreciate those that are sticking around, enjoying those. I'm having a lot of fun doing those videos. So I found some love again on YouTube.
There you go.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Tobias, with all the latest Disney failures, I'm more and more worried about studio interference with Zootopia 2. At least tonight, I can look forward to playing Dark Tide's new class. Happy birthday, Jay and Jess.
Oh, my God. Thank you.
Look, you are more worried about Zootopia 2 than any human being I've ever met in my life, Tobias.
I know.
But look, the only thing that works for them are these sequels, right? Zootopia is a sequel. Yeah. We'll see what they do. I didn't fucking hate the movie or anything, but I didn't love the movie. It was just kind of like, whatever. Move on. I didn't know it was going to become a like furry masturbation fest for a lot of people out there. And it did really well at the box office.
The only thing,
the second one,
the only thing that came out of Zootopia was that song that got stuck in my head. Something about I won't give up, but I won't give in till I reach the end, and then I'll start again. Right? Is that how it goes? Wasn't that in Zootopia?
I won't give up. No, I won't give in. Yeah. Till I reach the end and then I start again.
Now it's stuck in my head again. Thank you.
But was that a song for that movie? I've heard that song plenty. It's like an a cappella group that does it, yeah?
I couldn't tell you one bit. I don't know. Oh, Shakira, right? It's a Shakira song.
Oh, that's a Shakira song?
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. The version I heard was not Shakira. Was it made for that movie, like an original?
It had to have been, right?
What? There's no other way they could just put a fucking song in there that wasn't originally made for the movie?
I can't even remember what part that was for. Was he in some kind of a race? I don't know. I wouldn't even remember Zootopia if it wasn't for Tobias, if you want my honest opinion. I probably wouldn't even remember what went on in that film. So
you know those people that do that sea shanty medley song?
Yeah.
Those are the guys that I've heard that song from. That's the only place I've ever heard. I'd never
Really?
heard yeah. I mean, I obviously did watch Zootopia, so maybe I just completely blanked it out, but I do not remember that at all. I trust you, since that's what it.
They said it's when Judy first goes to Zootopia. All right, so we got some confirmation in the chat. It's when Judy first goes to Zootopia. They play that song. Okay.
There we go. Home Free did the acapella version. There it is.
Yeah, Home Free.
That's where I know it. Much less gay to know it's an acapella group than a Shakira song.
That's true. Very true.
I don't know if that's true or not, but hey. BJ, the Vigilant Guitarist, for 5. A very merry unbirthday, Jay. Hey, it actually is my birthday. Hail the 199.
Hey, well, happy birthday,
VJ.
brother.
Happy birthday. Congratulations. It's tough to know when it's actually people's birthdays around here anymore.
Yeah, it's right.
Andre, some of my customers in the U.S. still have AOL emails, but they're old people, so it makes sense. It does make sense. Madney, those dogs are barking, Jay.
Woo! You took that picture off my Twitter account. That's Krista's feet, by the way.
That's what I heard. What do you guys think about the DMC TV show producer buying rights to the Duke Nukem franchise? I have no desire to see a Duke Nukem show or anything.
Yeah.
But
I guess we'll find out, right?
Probably. Jay's secret abandoned Asian wife for 5. You're celebrating your birthday? Your son's birthday was last week. You not even call.
I'm sorry. We're in the middle of a war. I can't,
Jack Allen for 5. The new Black James Bond catchphrase will be malt liquor. Stolen, not purchased. Get wrecked, Pixar. You get what you deserve. Might as well talk about Pixar.
Yeah.
Big new Disney release, Jay, this weekend. And that was Elio. We've seen Pixar struggling over the past several years. It's weird. Over the past 5 years, a lot of big changes have happened at Disney, and all of their big properties, whether it's Walt Disney Animation, whether it's Pixar, whether it's Star Wars, whether it's Marvel, all of them seem to be suffering all at around the same time, both at the box office or on Disney Plus, wherever you can think of. And this weekend, we finally got a new original movie from Pixar, a company that before it was bought by Disney, and even for several years after that, it was known. It wasn't just sequels or stuff. It wasn't just 1 or 2 IPs that were doing really well for Pixar. It was everything they were putting out. Original stories, original films that would come out and would get massive numbers at the box office, would have huge praise from audiences and critics alike, and people couldn't wait for the next Pixar movie. That's no longer the case. Multiple box office flops and several movies that would have flopped in the box office if they didn't decide to just put them straight on Disney Plus. But here we are, another one, Elio, after multiple delays and after everyone saying, hey, it's such a good thing that this got delayed because there's been so much bad shit. It's a good thing they're trying to get this one right. Well, here we are. Box office, Elio limps to record low $21 million Pixar opening, as How to Train Your Dragon stays number 1. And yes, it's the lowest Pixar opening, not even adjusted for inflation. It's just straight up the lowest, beating Toy Story from 1995 as the lowest box office opening ever for Pixar in its entire history. Toy Story in 95 opened to $29 million, which would be a lot more than $29 million with inflation considered in today's dollars, 30 years after the fact. And this is it. Now, we have reports that this budget, because they did scrap everything, because they delayed everything, because they changed directors, they rewrote and reanimated a lot of stuff. We've had reports that this is up to a $300 million budget for this movie. Disney's telling us, we promise it's only $150. We've seen that before. But just a complete collapse for a studio and a company before they were bought by Disney that used to be so beloved and so respected and have just fallen into the fucking dirt.
This movie is what's crazy is like even the Disney adults online are saying like this movie is like pathetic, and they don't even care for it. This one guy, he's like a Disney theme park loyalist. He writes on Twitter, he's like, I just got out of Elio. Wow, it's terrible. I got nothing from this movie other than I'm sad I wasted a ticket for this sad storytelling. I'm shocked this movie has a high audience score on websites. He's like, I would have walked out, but I didn't want to waste my money. I gave it a 1.5 out of 5, and I don't recommend it at all. These are like, when you lost that crowd, that's pretty pathetic. Like, what was the point in even making this film? And I'm telling you, like, I didn't see any marketing. It's almost like they knew it was trash. I mean, maybe I'm just not in the algorithm, you know?
I saw a fair amount of it, a
did?
fair amount of marketing, but not to the same level as, say, Lilo and Stitch live action, not to the same level as Inside Out 2, which came out last year. I did not see it to the same level as those. I did see a decent amount, but I 100% believe that they thought internally that this was not going to do well, and so they didn't waste a ton of marketing money when they didn't think they were going to get a lot of return.
Exactly.
And
that's what I didn't see hardly any ads. So, I don't know what this is. I don't even know anything about this film, like what it's about or anything. So
it's about a little kid who's
lost his eye, I guess.
I don't know if that's really just like a get up, like a pretending thing. It's a little kid who feels out of place. He's being raised by his aunt because something happened to his parents. He feels lonely. He feels like he doesn't have any friends or anyone to connect to. And he ends up getting abducted by aliens who are looking for a representative from every world, like all around the galaxy, right? And he finds friendship and he finds camaraderie and like all this stuff. Whatever. I don't know. That's from all the marketing, that's about what I can tell about the movie. But it is bombed hard. $35 million worldwide, 21 million domestically. And when you start to look at what Disney's come out with, look, the only thing that Pixar is succeeding with right now are sequels. This is why Frozen 3 and 4 and Toy Story 5 and 6 get announced. This is the only thing that's working for them. Are when people have something that is already beloved and well liked, people will show up for that, but they're not going to show up for their originals anymore. And when you look at Disney's theatrical run this year, it is looking bad for them. Now, we do think they're going to have some wins later on. Zootopia 2 coming out later this year. Avatar 3 probably going to be a big box office win for them as well. When you look at the first half of the year, I can think of 5 major Disney releases, and only one of them was successful, and that's live action Lilo and Stitch. Other than that, Captain Black America, Brave New World, Snow White, Thunderbolts, and now something like Elio leading up to Fantastic Four. It's been rough.
Yeah. The thing is some of the movie critics out there trying to defend this film were like, this is why we won't get any originals. Just like you said, we won't get anything original because no one's going to support their original films. Well, if it sucks, why would people support it? Like, that's the thing. If it's not good, how can you even say that? If people won't go support, if nobody likes it, of course they're not going to support it, and the word of mouth is not going to carry it. But I'm pretty sure Disney will find money making potential when they move it over to streaming service, and they'll say, yeah, it wasn't a flop. We made plenty of money on the streaming service. So,
funny enough, they moved the release date for this multiple times. It was delayed by like a year or something earlier on, but it was supposed to come out 2 weekends ago, right up against How to Train Your Dragon. And they decided to kind of quietly shift the release date a week because they probably knew it would have been even worse if they went up straight against that.
Yeah.
Even with that being said, How to Train Your Dragon still was #1 at the box office this week, despite Elio opening, despite 28 years later opening.
Oh, man. I got my parents out of the house. We all went and saw How to Train Your Dragon. Everybody loved it.
You liked it?
Theater was packed. Yeah, everybody loved it. People cheered at the end. It was really good. So it was good seeing it on live action. They did a great job, I think. So
yeah,
my parents
I think
never
they
get
did a
out
really
of the
good
house.
job.
And
The story is completely intact.
Yeah.
I think the animation is basically a masterpiece. So I don't think it's as good as the original, but
yeah.
In this time frame for a live action adaptation, to me, it's kind of with a couple here and there criticisms over castings or stuff like that. I think this is how you should go about making it. Personally,
I agree. Maybe nobody saw Elio because we're at war. Just want to trigger more people in the chat that called me retarded for saying that we're at war, but that'll be my excuse.
There you go.
The most people that hate me on this show, and anytime I say something out of sarcasm, they take it as truth, and they just like try to just you know, they're like, man, this guy's so retarded. I feel sorry for Ryan. I feel sorry for Ryan too. He's got to put up with me all the time.
I feel sorry for myself. In large part because I went out and watched 28 Years Later. And
I heard you didn't like that too much. Maybe because we're at war. I don't know.
It had nothing to do with that.
I know.
It was just like, again, I think it did not do super well. The body did okay. But when people saw that opening Thursday preview number and that opening day number, people were thinking, oh, this could go up to like a $45 million opening. It ends up being a $30 million opening, which is a little bit less than people had expected. And certainly it has a fairly restrained budget in general for a movie like that. But I just don't think it's going to be very well received. I think it's going to be very divisive. I think most people that went expected a different movie. So I get it. I got a poster though.
But did you say it was like a controversial ending? Like, is that like it's going to be a divisive ending? Is that what you were saying though?
I don't even think it's about the ending necessarily. Now, the last 3 minutes are a fucking shift gears tonally type of thing. But in terms of the actual ending of the story itself, it's more the last 2/3 of it, I think people are going to have problems with than just straight up the end.
I tell you, man, like when these trailers come out, it's more like my mind instantly goes, I can wait for streaming on that. That was one of the movies that instantly went to, unless all of you guys came out and said, you are going to love this film, you got to go watch it. I was going to wait straight for streaming.
When I walked out of it, I'm not a big zombie guy. Said that a million times. I'm not a big, like, 28 Days Later. I like it, but I don't love it. It's like, oh my God, I love that movie so much. But I think everybody, whether you walk out of the theater liking this movie or not liking it, when you walked in, you expected a completely different movie than what you got. I thought the marketing was great for this movie, in large part because they didn't reveal too much and basically just set up the tone and tension that you would be feeling, right? That's not most of this movie, though. It's a very different story. And I walked out thinking, like, I don't like this. I think there's going to be some people that love it. And there is an artistic vision, like, that's present throughout. It's incredibly well acted by pretty much everybody. So there are things to look at, and I can see why a lot of people might like it. I just didn't. And I don't think I don't think that it's going to have great legs because of that.
Zombies usually don't have great legs. You know who does have great legs, Ryan? This gentleman right here. Apparently, a guest falls in the water at Living with the Land while retrieving their dropped phone. Now, this has become a regular occurrence at Disney for some strange reason. People keep dropping their phones in these water rides, and then they get out of the ride and go and pick them up with no fear of any type of repercussion or any kind of discipline or anything like that. I'm not sure. Usually at Universal, when you do something like this, if you get out of a ride, out of an attraction to go just for any reason, you get permanently banned from all their parks instantly. Like, it's a permanent ban. They'll walk you out of the ride and everything. Disney used to have a policy like this, but we are seeing this happen more often than not. Just last week, Ryan, someone was on Tiana's Bayou at the Magic Kingdom. They had their phone out. It slips out of their hand because it got wet. He then gets out of the ride, takes a walk back, jumps in the water, and picks up the phone. No different than this. Now, I don't know if you've ever been on Living with the Land. It's a very slow-moving boat ride at Epcot where you could learn about vegetation. You could learn about plants and fish and stuff like that. It's not, a lot of people don't like it. Apparently, this is Jeremy's favorite ride at Epcot. That's what he's said multiple times. But this guy was recording, dropped his phone in the water, and then fell. There is a quick video. I'm not sure if, man, look at all these ads. I'll tell you. But let's see if we can watch. There he is right there. Jumped in and kicked up some sand and gets back in the boat. Pretty much it. Somebody recorded that.
Look, maybe my take is a little bit controversial, okay? If my phone falls in the water, like if my phone is in the water, and it's like, and I can see it, and I didn't drop it in like a big lake or something where it just immediately disappears and it's gone, I'm going in there to get it. I've known people who have dropped their phones in the water and lost their phones completely at theme parks and stuff. I've known that's happened. It sucks. It's fucking awful because, look, at least if you go down there and you grab it and it still doesn't work and it's busted or whatever, at least then you can do the insurance claim and like whatever. Bro, if it's gone and I just need to straight up buy a new one, fuck that. I don't care. I'm going in there to get my phone. I'm going in there to get my phone. All this other stuff be damned. So you know what? Respect to this guy. Go in there.
Bro,
and
you know what happens when
whatever.
something like this happens? They shut down the entire ride. They shut everything down. They ask you not to like be rude with your phone recording. What this is going to lead to is they're going to be asking people not to pull out their phones during these attractions to take pictures and record the whole thing anyway. That's what's going to happen, and pretty soon some people might even get arrested for like causing danger to others. That's all I'm saying. When this stuff happens, if this guy's dumb enough to drop his phone on a slow moving boat ride, I'll why would you cause a problem for everybody else that paid a lot of money to get in there and possibly ride this ride? That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying, in that moment, I don't care. Quite frankly, Jay, when I go to a theme park, I don't really care about everyone else's experience. I care about my own. I'm just being straight up honest. I see some people in the chat being like, you could get seriously hurt doing that. It's not worth it. A phone is replaceable. Yeah, I don't want to pay $1,000 to replace my phone. If it's something like this where you can see the bottom, where you can see, I'm going to get it. I'm not going to rely on some stupid Disney theme park employee. I'm not going to rely on that. If I see it, I'm going to go get it. And
well, first of all, I don't think you're going to be the guy that drops their phone in a slow moving boat ride.
I'm probably not. However, I know people who it just happens sometimes. It just happens and it sucks. So I'm going to go and get that thing. I'm going to be this guy, except I'm not going to trip on the sand. I'm going to be like a gazelle out there.
The reason why I think this is dangerous and dumb and you shouldn't be like this person is because it wasn't that long ago that someone was at Six Flags during a Christian youth event and he lost his hat on the Batman ride, decides to jump over the fence to get his hat, and the ride decapitated him, killed him instantly. And then like the youth worker had to call and had to call his parents and be like, your son was killed at this amusement park. Horrible tragedy that happens. So I'm just saying, like, the more people that feel that they are okay to get out of an attraction to retrieve a phone or a hat or something is going to lead to a serious injury. That's where I'm at on this. I don't think you should be I get your personal story. Number one, I don't think you're going to be the guy that loses a phone at Disney because you never go anyway. So that I'm not worried about.
That's true.
But I also don't think like the more and more this has been happening on the regular at all Disney theme parks, and we report on this like it seems like every week somebody is doing this, and it gets dangerous and dangerous. So that's just where I'm at. Don't be these people. Don't listen to Ryan. I'm sorry. Don't be like, don't get hurt out there. What if you got electrocuted or something? You know, that's all I'm saying.
Why am I going to get electrocuted?
Because they have things. They have I don't know what's making the boat work. You know, it could
pretty
be
much
on some
all
kind
of
of
them have
track
the
or
underground
something.
tracks or whatever. That's why I said, like, if I can see the bottom and I can look and I can see and I can see I'm not going to step in the middle of a mechanical thing or whatever, I'm going to get that thing. And all I can do is be honest with exactly what I would do, and I would go get that. I might not be a lot of you out there that are like me. I get it. You might not have that dog in you to go get your phone and you just say, well, I guess I'll just pay. Like, but if it's there, if I got a chance to get that thing, I'm snagging it. And I see Jedi Ben says, Ryan sounds like a complete narcissist. Look, I don't think I'm a narcissist. Look, for people in my life that I care about, right? I prioritize them over myself. But I don't prioritize people I don't give a fuck about over myself. Why would I do that? So I'm going to get my shit. I won't cause a scene like this guy. I'm going to go get it. Believe that.
One of these days we'll find Ryan in one of these articles and we can go through it. It'll be great. We'll see those gazelle-like features. Picking up his phone. Still, I think it's like a 0.001% chance you lose your phone.
Probably
at
true.
A theme park. So,
but I'm just saying, I know people that have personal experience, even recently, with like dropping their phones and stuff and losing them, and it's gone, and it sucks. It sucks. So, I don't have freaking insurance or whatever. You think I want to spend under the $2,000 to get a phone? It's worth the risk to me. I don't mind being banned from Epcot. Wouldn't affect my life too much.
That I agree. I don't think you'd be there to begin with, but
Tobias for 5. My gamer tag has always been just Cadpig. If you've seen it, you've probably seen me somewhere. The song is Shakira's Try Everything and Made for It. There you go. Cadpig says try everything.
Cadpig.
Ryan Shatner's The Classics for 5. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jay. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. It's not my birthday.
Shutch for $5 says, hey, Jay, what's 9line?
9line is it's a clothing company made by veterans. You buy their clothes and money goes to help veterans get back in, it helps veterans get back in society that might need some extra help when they come back from the military. So it's pretty awesome. 9line means emergency medevac in a combat situation. So a veteran made a clothing line called 9line Apparel. So it's a great company that does a lot of good for veterans.
There you go. Let's see. Doug May for 5. Not gay to know a Shakira song. Her hips do lie on top of mine. Boba Fett for 5. There's a new 16v16 VR Battlefield style game coming this fall called Forefront. Going to be great training for World War III. And Anthony Landolfini for 5. How much money does Karate Kid Legend? Can you check the box office on that and How to Train Your Dragon? How much money does Karate Kid Legend? Can you check box office on that and How to Train Your Dragon? How to Train Your Dragon is around 360, I think, worldwide. Had about a $198 million opening weekend, and now after the second weekend, it's sitting at 360-ish. Karate Kid Legends, I don't know. I had no fucking interest in that movie, honestly.
Man, it didn't do as well as I think people as they hope for. It just kind of came and went.
I think it had a very small budget.
Yeah.
But that's made $100 million worldwide after a couple weeks of release. That came out end of May. So 1, 2, 3. This is his 4th weekend. What's the budget on this thing? I think the budget was like 45 million on that. So probably needs to end somewhere. I don't know what the marketing was, but probably needs to be somewhere in that 130 to a little bit higher maybe range to break even. But and there you go.
It says here on Box Office Forecast that with some overseas markets still open, Karate Kid is eyeing a final total of 115 million. And probably it says theatrical profit at risk.
Yeah, probably needs to be a little bit higher than that if it's got a chance. But don't know. Over on Rumble, snacks for $1. No wonder Elio failed. Looks patchy at best. He does look patchy. Nader's bricks for $2 on Rumble. If someone self-deletes doing something dumb, it's nature's way of getting rid of stupid. Hey, there you go. The Trillis for $1.99. A $21 million Pixar opening is straight up Disney apathy. Probably true. Tobias for 10. The song was made for the movie as its main theme. Shakira voices Gazelle, and the end credits is a concert scene that shows the voice cast, including Idris Elba, J.K. Simmons, Alan Tudyk, and Tommy Chong. Should have known you'd be all over it. Graham Robbins. I heard Elio's about a disabled Hispanic kid trying to sneak into the U.S. from space so he doesn't have to contend with the border. I could be wrong. You might be right about some of it, like the disabled Hispanic kid, but I don't know about the rest. Chaos Maker for 5. I spent $30 to see 28 Years. Never again. Theaters are dead. Why'd you spend $30 to see it? $30 fucking dollars. I get like, look, I don't think it was an IMAX. So I hear a lot of people saying it's cost me $30. I'm gonna be real. Whenever I go to movies, it costs me about $13. Maybe it's when the time I go. Maybe I usually get the good fucking.
You don't get.
I get the matinee. You don't have to get food and drink. You're only there for 2 hours.
No, I'm just saying you don't get popcorn or anything like that.
But if I do, that's separate from me deciding to go to the movie theater.
I got you.
But sometimes I do. That popcorn and drink's gonna be the same whether I like the movie or not.
I mean, that would add to the $30 total, you know.
Yeah, but that's completely removed from the cost you're paying to watch a movie.
Yeah, he probably was adding in like food and drink, I would assume. So,
gotta take that away. That's extra. Anthony Landolfini. When does Karate Kid Legend need to break even? Oh, what's the number? And How to Train Your Dragon, what's the number it needs to break even? How to Train Your Dragon is likely, I don't know exactly what the marketing is on that. So I would say probably somewhere between 500 and 600. It looks like it's on pace probably to make around $700 million. Obviously, we'll know a little bit more in a couple weeks. It's got a little bit of a run to go, but holding fairly well. Man, this guy's retarded. I feel bad for Ryan, says Rudy.
Don't feel too bad.
Sup, man. 28 years later, director. I need more dick.
Yeah, is that the controversy? There's a lot of pee-pee in that movie?
I don't think that's really a controversy. It's just like there are naked zombies in it. And there's one, like the alpha zombie, like the super strong, powerful one. He has a fucking massive cock. Just a big swinging dick. And so like there was people that are like, there's a lot of dick in this movie, but I don't know if it's one of its controversies. It's one of the talking points that's got a lot of like run out of it, but they're all prosthetic, right? They're all fake dicks. So if you're one of those people in the chat that really wants to go to see dick, just know it's fake. Probably because they're filming around children, so they can't have real dicks. They can't have real dicks out there. They can have dicks. Udite. I have to imagine they could put netting on the edge of the boat's attractions to catch phones and stuff people drop. For most roller coasters and stuff like that, they do, right, Jay? A lot of them.
Yeah, like now the new trend now is you got to put like everything in a locker before you go on anything. So, but that's not so much at Disney, but it is at Universal's, like not taking chances. And then you walk through a quick metal detector to make sure.
It's all based on like if there is an area where people could be walking, like if a roller coaster is going over a place that's accessible to people there, then one of two things, and sometimes both, they put a net under there or they don't allow you to take anything on there. Like you said, go through the metal detector.
Yeah.
Because they don't want somebody having their phone slipping out and it falling down and killing somebody.
I mean, like even the How to Train Your Dragon coaster at Epic is, I'm pretty sure you could hold on to your phone and record like while you're on that ride.
You can have your phone with you on there.
But they provide free lockers and they want everybody to kind of just stick everything in there. But yeah, no, you're right.
Warbrer, you two are the Nathan and Mimsy of G&G.
Mimsy.
Nathan and Mimsy. I'll be Nathan. I like that better. Hero of Canton, Jay finally knows what a 9 line is. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Maximus BT for 199 says, are you retarded? Maybe. Possibly. You know what else is retarded, Jay?
Star Wars.
Star Wars. There you go. There you go. Star Wars is pretty retarded. You'd have to be retarded to make a big announcement 2 years ago at Disney Star Wars Celebration that Daisy Ridley is coming back. Rey Skywalker, Rey Palpatine, whatever you want to call her. You guys have just been demanding her. We know you wanted her back, and here she is. Bring her up on stage with activist, feminist, Muslim female director Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy. This is our future right here. Rey Skywalker back in the theaters. Well, since that announcement 2 years ago, it's been a little rough. Obviously got delayed not that long after it was announced. Now, some of that was because of strikes and things like that, which is understandable. You can't have writers writing if you're doing this. So, hey, got moved back. But then throughout the past 2 years, it's just been one thing after another. Multiple times that writers have been hired and then fired for this movie. They still do not have a script. They still do not know when it's going to be released. And we're in this cycle of rumors and insiders and scoops and all of this stuff happening. Leading us to last week. A couple days ago, we got a scoop from Daniel RPK. And I say the same thing about a lot of these scoopers, a lot of these people that put stuff on their Patreon or whatever. A lot of it is just made up bullshit, just straight up made up bullshit. And some of it is because, hey, look, we've actually heard updates about James Mangold's work on his movie. We've heard updates about Starfighter, obviously. We haven't heard shit about the Rey movie. So maybe I'll just put in a scoop that says they're prioritizing those first. And they're kind of putting that on the back burner, that no work's being actively done on that. Because that sounds like it makes sense. That the upcoming Star Wars movie's on hold once again. Well, then we got another scooper, another insider that came out with opposite information. Not really opposite, but saying it's not shelved. It's just they're waiting on the script. Rey Skywalker Star Wars movie not shelved, says insider. Scooper Daniel Richtman recently claimed Lucasfilm decided to shelve the Rey Star Wars movie, though Richtman said the project only halted development and was not canceled. But now, according to industry insider Jeff Snyder, the project still remains in active development. Snyder said on the hot mic, Lucasfilm doesn't have a script yet, so it's not on hold. It's actively being written. Lucasfilm is waiting on the Rey movie to be delivered. That script has not been finalized. If it was on hold, they'd say, you know what, stop writing. We're not even going to do it. But they're waiting for it, so it's not on hold. He added, as I've said in the past, that movie's not the only one where Rey is in it as a lead character. There are multiple projects being developed with Rey as the lead character. Well, you know what the media thinks, Jay, real quick before you get to your point? The media thinks that all these delays, it's actually a good thing for Star Wars. This is a good thing. It's a positive thing because they're taking the time to get it right. What do you think about all this, Jay?
I have no idea why they want to continue with this character. Yeah, she had her trilogy. You know, Luke Skywalker had his trilogy. Anakin had his trilogy. They don't need to continue moving forward, but I believe the embarrassment it would cause if they don't do anything with this character, like you said, after bringing Daisy Ridley out with Kathleen Kennedy or whoever else was on the stage on Star Wars Celebration to thunderous applause that we're bringing Rey back, is it'd be a bigger embarrassment for them if they don't do anything. But yeah, apparently this character is supposed to be in a ton of projects, so she's gonna appear all over the place. Who knows? But I am on record saying that the original Rey film will not happen, and I'm gonna stick with it until something happens. I don't care that they were waiting on a script. How long has it been? Holy crap, to put a script together that they approve. I don't know. But I just don't think it's going to happen. And we've heard all kinds of rumors that she adopts twins, that then all of a sudden
all of those fucking rumors are bullshit. Do you know why?
Yeah.
Because there's no fucking script.
Exactly. Right? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. We've heard all kinds of stupid, crazy stuff that, oh, her and Baby Yoda are going to team up now. And then, like, there was even one floating out there that people were running with, that Ahsoka is going to get stuck into the world, the time machine that they have in Star Wars now, and then
World Between Worlds.
Yes, and end up with Rey. I saw that one floating around. I'm like, oh my gosh, wouldn't surprise me. But I am going to go on record and say that she might show up in other projects, but I think her original standalone, what is it supposed to be, episode 10 film,
it's
is not gonna,
episode 10. It's just supposed to be a standalone movie. Yeah,
I think the standalone is not going to happen.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's not episode 10. You say it's not, but I'm telling you, if they were to do something, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, why would it not be episode 10 if it continues the story, right?
I don't think I don't think they're going to do that. Now, if you're looking at the Simon Kinberg trilogy, maybe that could be. But I still don't. I think they're going to actively move away from that because of so much of the backlash and everything.
Right.
But Simon Kinberg's trilogy, which is being written, that's probably the one that has Rey in it. I wouldn't be shocked if in some way that movie gets absorbed into that trilogy, right? Where
that is correct.
Where Simon Kinberg writes it, and maybe Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy directs like the first part, like the first movie in that trilogy. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yes.
And that ends up becoming this project because they are having so many problems with the script of fucking apparently. But look, there are a lot of scoopers that are just quite frankly full of shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, is it that much of a stretch to be like, hey guys, this movie's on hold. It's not canceled, so if it comes out at some point, you can say I was right. But because we're hearing things about Starfighter, because we're hearing things about James Mangold thing, they're prioritizing those ones first. Even if you have no information, it's just fucking guesswork. And that's how this stuff gets started.
Right.
These are the same type of scoopers that every time there's a big Rachel Zegler drama story, they come out and say,
right.
Ooh, Disney's actually looking to cast her in some role in the MCU, when they know they're going to get a bunch of clicks on it. You know, those types of people.
I do think that the Mandalorian film, like how it does in the box office, is, I think that's going to determine a lot of stuff. We do know that there's 2 films that are being pushed forward, right? The Mando and Grogu is done. That's coming out next year. And then the pilot story, what was the title of that?
Starfighter.
Starfighter, yeah. So that's on its way as well. So I just think they're going to wait and see what the box office does with these films, especially Mando, before if they move forward with anything.
I think you can pretty much say, in all likelihood, Dave Filoni's movie also happens, which will wrap up like all the Ahsoka stuff and everything like that. I think you can probably say with fair confidence that will happen. Dawn of the Jedi with James Mangold, I think a little less certain, just because I think that'll be a little bit longer. But if he wants to make it, he's going to make it. James Mangold, look, I like a lot of his movies. He obviously was the director for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Horrible.
Which was rough.
Horrible. I mean, but like this is just typical Lucasfilm leadership. That Ryan trilogy was announced forever, and then they just stopped talking about it.
And that's what I mean. Like for the people out there that are trying to spin, it's like Rey is so important to Star Wars. It's really important they get this right. If they just continue this path and every 2 fucking months is another rumor, whether it's bullshit or not out there about it getting shelved, about it getting delayed, about a writer getting fired, about a direct, like all this stuff, right? That's not good. It's embarrassing. You know what would be good for them? If they came out and said, hey, we got a script, or 2, they said, look, we've listened to the fans. We know there's actually not a lot of demand for this character and we can't get the script right. So we're just going to say, thank you, Daisy Ridley. We pulled you up there. It was great to see the love for you. Thanks for everything you've done for Star Wars, but we're moving in a different direction. That would be good for Star Wars. That would be good news for Star Wars. Not another like frightening tale of complete ineptitude behind the scenes.
Yes. Agreed. It's going to suck anyway.
I want the Rian Johnson trilogy at this point. Give it to me. I did see this, Jay. I thought we could look at this. I don't know if this list is gonna be exactly the same as yours. Where the fuck is here? It is. The 10 best movie themed popcorn buckets of 2025.
Oh man. That's right up my alley.
But I don't know if you're going to agree with all this list. There's some of them that I don't think are all that impressive, but we'll see. The popcorn bucket trend continues with a vengeance in 2025, courtesy of a few major blockbuster films. Let's see. First one, Thunderbolts. The Thunderbolts popcorn limousine. Ironically, I've seen a lot of those at my local AMC every fucking time I go because they still haven't sold them.
They still haven't sold them, yeah.
I don't think this was iconic enough to be worthy of a popcorn bucket.
Yeah, no, that's not good.
I would say a big no on that one.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Stitch. What about this Stitch popcorn bucket?
That's something I wouldn't own, but I'm probably sure a lot of kids would probably like that.
I think so. If they're fans of like the
if
character,
they're fans of
whatever.
Lilo and Stitch,
and look, there's a lot of people at Disney that collect Disney popcorn buckets and stuff.
Yeah,
I can see that. Understandable. Karate Kid.
What? I never saw this one.
Neither did I. And
you got to break the blocks.
Yeah, so it's like a wood block on bricks, right? I don't like it. I think it looks dumb.
I think it looks dumb too. I would see it and go, okay, they're trying. And then that would be the end of it. I wouldn't buy that one. Karate it in the middle of the movie and all my popcorn would fall out.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that one. Not a fan.
Yeah.
The Entity Container Bucket, Mission Impossible. I wished that I didn't go to a Regal for it. I just ended up getting like a plain ass regular popcorn bucket, when I went to Mission Impossible. I wish I had one of those things. That would have been cool.
That's kind of neat.
Give me that shit.
That's kind of neat.
Chicken Jockey Bucket Cup.
With so you got sipper?
You got a popcorn bucket and it's a drink sipper.
I gotta give them. I like that one. You get the combo pack. That's new.
That one's badass.
I give them that one for the combo pack.
That's the same way the Stitch one is too. I think the Stitch one is a drink holder and a popcorn.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's up there. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Now I saw a lot of. They also had the pretty cheap like metal tins that were like pretty small, but they all look like different Minecraft blocks. And they had like 15 different options from redstone to diamonds to lapis to just regular grass block, dirt block, gold, like all that stuff. That was a really good idea for them too. A lot of the Minecraft buckets worked. What else? Toothless. Everybody loves Toothless, bro.
Those things were sold out at the theater I went to.
Yeah.
So we went and, like I said, we went and saw How to Train Your Dragon. It was like Toothless popcorn bucket was gone.
Well, you guys also went like fucking 2 weeks late.
That is true, but still, I'm just saying.
Everybody loves Toothless. This is what I had at my AMC. I got one of these with a stuffed Toothless in there. But they have these at Epic, at Universal and stuff too, right?
Yeah, but it's a little different. It's a different one, but it's pretty much different, but the same.
Now look at this.
Hold on, Herbie.
A Herbie bucket. I had not seen these. I'd seen the Galactus. We've all seen the Galactus. I haven't seen the Herbie bucket. He's got a drink in his head, apparently. He holds it all for you. Includes large popcorn, large drink, and candy, plus a place to store it all.
All right, you get the triple.
Expensive.
That's pretty good. You get all three. That's pretty good. I got to give him that. You get the triple, the trifecta, the candy. You know, I wonder if I can get my Twizzlers in there, popcorn, and a drink. That drink in the head.
Yeah, I don't know how expensive those are, but if this is any indication, if the Galactus one's any indication, it's probably expensive. T-Rex.
Yeah, not $80 worth, that's for sure. Like that ain't that $80 is a lot, man, for a popcorn bucket.
What about just a T-Rex? Nothing too fancy about this. Just like straight up, we're doing a T-Rex popcorn bucket.
Yeah, I wish they could have gone a little more violent, but
I assume he opens his mouth.
Yeah, I wish it would have gone a little more violent. Maybe had like a person inside.
And a free same-day refill.
So after you eat all the popcorn, you can bring the head back and get more.
Yeah. Now, you're not you're a get the popcorn on the side, right? That's a you thing.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
And then
I can barely carry stuff. I don't know how I'm gonna how would I make that work? You put that big Galactus in your lap, looks like a giant bulge, and you're just eating popcorn out of it.
Yeah, this would be distracting. Now, these things, I think they're gonna resell at a super crazy price. Fantastic Four, I'm not excited about this movie at all. This Galactus thing looks awesome, to be honest. There's no way I would never pay $80 for it, but
the only way I would buy that is if I checked eBay and people are literally paying twice as much.
I think they will be for this.
And then if they're paying twice as much, yeah, I could see myself buying one and immediately putting it on eBay. Right then and there.
He's fucking big, dude.
Yeah.
It's like 1.5 feet tall.
The eyes light up, looks like.
Yep.
Maybe it has like some kind of vocal feature. It talks too.
I don't think it talks. I think you're making that up.
No, I was asking you. That's what I was saying.
Oh.
Like the eyes light up and said maybe it has a vocal feature where it talks.
I don't think it talks. I think it's just the eyes light up, which is still pretty cool. And then Crypto, the super dog popcorn bucket.
Yeah, the young people are gonna eat that up, man. I can
That's
see a lot of women buying the puppies, stuff like that. Yeah,
Bro, I have one like this from Ghostbusters, and it's just Slimer holding a popcorn bucket.
I had the other Ghostbusters one, the proton pack. That was pretty neat. I still think the best one ever is the Batman, the one that you have that's not on this list. I think that's the best one I've ever seen.
Just the big bat signal. That one was
with the bat signal. I thought that was I thought that was genius. That was really good.
They did
Notice they didn't make one for Indiana Jones. At least I didn't see it. And I did see one for Jaws floating around.
I saw one too.
If I see that at the theater, I'm picking that up for sure. So
they got those at Universal too that basically look the same.
It's pretty awesome.
Pre-Dawn Corpse, Ryan. Last night I asked Jeremy to invite DSP to G&G Play for Mario Kart. Jeremy did so on air. If by some miracle he shows, will you be there too? Maybe. I should be on the next Mario Kart stream. I was busy last Wednesday. That's why I didn't stream on my channel or on Geeks Gamers Play. Long and Distinguished for 5. Jay, what's your go-to movie snack?
I like Twizzlers. Twizzlers or peanut M&Ms, one of the two.
Peanut M&M's solid.
Yeah.
Peanut M&M's solid. I'm just a straight up fucking drinking popcorn guy. That's all I need.
I usually get a slushie.
I'm good with no slushy. Give me a cherry Coke Zero. That's what I do.
Not bad either.
Cherry Coke Zero. But I think that's about it, everybody. An hour, almost on the dot. Almost on the dot. What do you think about that, Jay?
It's awesome. Tonight on the Drunk 3PO channel, we're going over Street Fighter 2, the animation movie. And I'll be making my way back home later this week. So,
well, there you go. Jay will be back home. Everything will be back to normal.
Yeah. Aren't you
Everything
happy?
will be back to normal. But thank you guys for hanging out. We appreciate it. And we'll be right back at it tomorrow. Have a good day. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye, everybody. Oh, actually, snacks for $1. Fandango has a Jaws bucket you can order with the 4K release.
Oh, really? I have to look at that.
There you go. All right. Bye, everybody.